Hello. By the end of this week, things will have evened out a little bit, but certainly to start the week, we've got a big north-south contrast with the temperatures. Cold air ensconced across the south, whereas it is much milder across Scotland and Northern Ireland. The bigger picture shows why, with high pressure dominating across the south, so the weather's been stagnating. We've had a bit of an easterly drift bringing the colder air. Further north, low pressure up to the north, and westerly breezes bringing milder air in from the Atlantic. That situation will remain the same for the next couple of days until this cold front sinks southwards through the middle of the week. The high pressure is still nearby, but it's building in from the west and will, as I say, even the temperatures out by the time we get to the end of the week. The temperature map much more evenly distributed by Friday. Another way of looking at the temperatures on this graph here, showing the temperatures for Fort William well above average to start the week. A bit of a dip as that cold front sinks southwards before perhaps starting to rise again towards the weekend. Compare and contrast with Southampton on the south coast, 5 or 6 degrees at best, and steadily rising as we go through the week, so much closer together by the time we get to the weekend. OK, let's look at the weather day by day. Tuesday will certainly still have that contrast with a frosty start across parts of England and Wales where skies have been clear. May not be quite as cold across the southeast and East Anglia with more cloud in here, but as well as a frosty start for parts of the Midlands, Eastern England, South Wales, Southwest England, there will be some dense patches of fog around as well, which could take much of the day to clear. Further north, a lot of cloud, and that cloud at times thick enough for some drizzly rain, chiefly over the hills of northwest England, southwest Scotland and Northern Ireland, but it will be quite a dank and drizzly day in western parts of Scotland. To the east of the hills and mountains, however, some brightness across Aberdeenshire and maybe also further north through Caithness, we could see temperatures getting up to 12, perhaps even 13 Celsius, whereas further south, even where it's sunny, only 4 or 5 Celsius, and if the fog sticks, well, we'll struggle to get much above freezing. Pretty rapidly, that frost will return across the south under the area of high pressure as we head through Tuesday night, but it's then when we start to see that weather front drifting southwards, mixing things up a little bit, bringing a band of thick cloud and some rain, nothing too heavy, south across Scotland and Northern Ireland during the night, and that will trickle southwards during the day on Wednesday, bringing a damp feel to much of northwest England, parts of Wales, and some rain trickling into the Midlands for a time as well. Behind that weather front, it turns much brighter, clearer skies, so some sunshine through the day, but also lower temperatures, but still 8 or 9 Celsius. There will be a brisk wind bringing plenty of showers in across northern Scotland. It could be quite a grey, cold day across the south. The rain will take most of the day before it arrives, and even then it won't amount to very much, but it will make for a grey and cold day, 5 or 6 Celsius at best. That weather front will be scooting away as we go through Wednesday night and into Thursday. Behind it, we do have the winds coming in from the north, but if we take a look at the bigger picture, you can see that the high has now shifted out to the west. And actually those winds aren't coming down from the Arctic, they're coming right around this area of high pressure. So they're still being influenced by the Atlantic. So it's not bitterly cold air that's coming in, and that's why temperatures will be on a more even keel come the end of the week. That northerly wind will bring probably quite a bit of cloud and some showers in that northerly wind, just grazing westernmost and easternmost fringes. But most places will be dry. Quite a bit of cloud, but some brightness and temperatures in single figures. If it stays cloudy, it'll probably feel pretty cold through much of the day, particularly if exposed to that breeze on the North Sea coast. But the high is still with us through Friday. Weather fronts just toppling around the top of it, still bringing some thicker cloud to northern Scotland and perhaps a little bit of rain here. But again, on Friday, most places dry. As that high builds in, the winds won't be quite as strong and generally not quite from the north either, so bringing again that milder air back into the west. Temperatures in the northwest could get to double figures, but there will be some rain here. Elsewhere, we're looking at 6 or 7 degrees Celsius for many on Friday, but again, a bit of sunshine will make all the difference. That high pressure isn't moving very far. It's likely to stick around into the weekend, but all the while staying out west, so allowing weather fronts to topple around the top of it, but still keeping much of the country dry as we head into the weekend. That's it for your week ahead outlook. As always, stay up to date with the latest forecast. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channels and follow us right across social media.